themselves. And the reason why I wrote this poem is because sometimes we look so much on things that we don't have, and we don't really count our blessings. We are fixated on things that we desire, that we lose sight of the things that we have. So that's why I wrote this poem. As a young boy, he always looked at the things that he lacked. He always wondered why everyone else was so blessed. He was so fixated on what he didn't have that he was losing sight slowly of what he did have. And as a teenage boy, he started hating his poverty. To him, everyone who had more than him was always mocking him. So he created a delusion where he started seeing that everybody was hating on him. An assumption that was born from nowhere but deep within. So you see, he was thinking that the world was hating him, but the only person that was hating him was himself. And you see, nobody hated him, but he had created his delusional world, and he started looking at the things that he did have. He didn't have money, he didn't have power, but he had his intelligence. So he started rubbing his intelligence on people's faces because that's the only thing that he had to brag about. But when he started doing that, people started to alienate themselves away from him because people hate pride, and that's a known fact. So as a grown man, people started talking behind his back. But he failed to realize that people were talking behind his back because of the mistake he had made. That mistake when he was rubbing his intelligence on people's faces. And the more they did that, the more he felt the need to prove to the people that he was the best. And that was the pressure that he didn't really deserve. So people started to distance themselves away from him. Some people tried to give him advice, but to him, advice was just a way for people to undermine him, so he didn't listen. So he locked himself in a delusional world, in a world where he was waging war with the real world. He managed to work hard and he managed to get rich. But as an old man, he sits around with his riches and he realized that he's never satisfied. Because to him, success was to prove to the world that he was the best. But remember, the world didn't like him because of his pride. So that always haunted him all his life. So as an old man, he sits around amongst his riches and he realized that he's never happy. He's never going to feel what it means to be happy. And he reflects upon his life. And he realizes that he never did really love his life. Because as a young boy, he always compared himself to others. As a teenage boy, he hated his life. As an old man, as a grown man, he went to war with the whole world. As an old man, he was bitter at the world. And it all started with one thing. Because he couldn't count his blessings. Thank you.
Amen.